So hello, I would like to welcome you here at Slovakia at Campfest 2014. Would you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dave Sumner from Exeter, England, and I run a charity called Guitar Aid.
Can you say something about your organization Guitar Aid for us, when it begins and about history a little bit?
Well, Guitar Aid started in 1990. I felt God was saying to me before I went on my first mission, what have you got in your hands? And I looked, like God said to Moses, what have you got in your hands? And for me it was a guitar. And I felt God was saying, I want to use this. And so I went to Romania in 1990, and I remember after one service playing the guitar, then the youth pastor said, can I borrow the guitar? And I gave it to him, and he started playing. They were so excited just to play the guitar. And at the end I said, you must keep it, it's a gift. If you could have seen his face, it was amazing. I will never forget, he lifted it up as if he had won the World Cup. I don't believe it, my own guitar. And with his reaction, something was born inside me, realizing that people need more than just humanitarian aid. There is a need for musical instruments which then can be used for worship. And that's how it started.
And when it started?
That was back in 1990, so next year we're celebrating 25 years of Guitar Aid.
I would like to ask, how does it work that you, some companies give you guitars and you send them to other people, or where do you get money for guitars?
Well, basically what we do is we buy all our guitars. We've now given away 2,600 guitars since 1990. It started where I would, after the first trip, I would buy damaged guitars and repair them, and then we gave 1,000 like that. When we got to the 1,000th guitar, I was saying, Lord, I cannot repair another guitar. If I have to put a sticker on another scratch or repair another neck, I will go crazy. You must help me. And so God opened the door for us to buy our own brand new guitars. When that happened, I realized people would be willing to sponsor a guitar. So now across the UK we have people who sponsor worship leaders, and they will pay me so much a month to allow me to give a guitar. So we give about 100 guitars a year in our ministry. They are now in 90 different countries across the globe.
So your organization is known all around the world?
Yeah.
All around the world. It's nice. Why did you decide to come here at Campfest this year?
Well, my history with Slovakia goes back 16 years. I first came to Slovakia 16 years ago and went to Žilina, and a pastor there said to me, you must meet Marian Lipovsky. He is the man you need to meet. So when Marian was living in Prešov and Youth for Christ was still quite young in Slovakia, I met Marian. Immediately we made a good relationship, and so every year that I could, since then, I would come, and we would, on our travels, we would come to Slovakia. At the end of the year, we do an Eastern European trip in a Land Rover and a trailer. Up to 50 guitars we can bring, because I go to Poland, Czech, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Serbia, Croatia, all in one big circle. But we always love coming to Slovakia, and I think I've seen Campfest grow from being an idea. I remember going for a coffee with Marian and him saying to me, you know, we've found a ranch, it would be perfect for Campfest. And so 2 years ago was the first time I actually came to Campfest. We would always come in October, and Marian would say, oh, Campfest was great, and I think, I wish I'd been there. But this is the third year we've been here. I think in our time in Slovakia we've given over 100 guitars, so it's really exciting for me to see the worship band and Marian's band and Julio's band with playing instruments that we have brought. So really our desire is to encourage what you're doing, and when I stand in Campfest with everyone singing in Slovakian, it doesn't matter. I can feel the spirit of it, and I look at the stage and see them playing the bass that we brought and a guitar and an amplifier. I thank God for this ministry.
It's some kind of satisfaction for you, right?
It's great, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, when God says to you, "What have you got in your hand?" I look back and for me, my answer was a guitar. And now, all over the world, people are worshipping with our guitars. And I believe God is asking individuals, what have you got in your hand? It might not be a guitar, but I believe God has something really special for all of us. In the same way I've found the ministry through Guitar Aid, I believe God has something special for each person. And it's so nice to see how when somebody sponsors a guitar, it not only affects the individual who has the guitar, it affects the church they're playing in, which in effect affects the community. So I believe we're doing something great by spreading the good news.
You did. You really did. You really do. So you were there 3 times. This is your third time. This is third time. So you can maybe say some difference between the last year and now. Can you say something?
Yeah. What's happened this year? I've come along with Riverside Worship Band, and what I noticed this year, we came a day early, and for me it was a major privilege to come here on Thursday night and see the volunteers, 400 volunteers worshipping God together with Graham Kendrick. And I can see, what I see in Slovakia is a servant heart, that people are willing to serve, and it takes teamwork, you know, and I believe that people's vision and your duty are 2 different things, and this is about vision and duty. It takes effort to put the tents up. It takes effort to do everything that's happening in Campfest. And I believe that's what's happened. At home, my job is an engineer. I work full-time. Guitar Aid is part-time. But to support my vision, I have a job to do. And I think sometimes we can be so carried away with our vision to think, oh, this is what I must do, that we forget to put the chairs out, or we forget that the place needs tidying up. And I believe that vision and duty go hand in hand, and that's what I see in Campfest.
Nice answer. And what does it mean for you, this year theme, simply with him? Theme of this year is simply with him.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? What does it mean for you?
It's really special to be here, because I've travelled throughout the world. I've been to 50 different countries, and I believe there's something special happening in Slovakia that is different. I think there is church unity here in Slovakia that I've not seen in anywhere else to the same degree. I love the way the Catholics, the Lutherans, the Presbyterians, the Baptists, the Pentecostals all get together at Campfest. This is unique, and I think what you have here is very special, and I really want to sow into it. I was here at the Worship Festival in last October. I'm coming again this October. I am planning to bring lots of guitars with me, because I want to be part of what you're doing.
And how do you transport so many guitars from England to Slovakia? Because it's a little bit far away from you, so how do you transport?
Well, we have a Land Rover and a trailer that we bring at the end of the year, but this time we just buy extra baggage, and so, like, if I go to Africa, I can pay for extra baggage, and I know if I go to somewhere like Africa, I can take 16 guitars with me, and when you arrive at customs, they look at you as if you're strange. But when you say, I always say, it's for educational. I don't say this is to worship Jesus in spirit and truth, because they'd go, what's happening? They'd say, oh, wait, I say educational purposes, and we are educating people to worship Jesus in spirit and truth.
It's true. Basically, it's true. And would you like to return next year, if there will be a chance for you?
Marion has told me that in Campfest I'm like part of the family, because I've brought so many guitars. So even if our worship band is not here, I will come along with my wife perhaps, because I want Campfest to be on my annual calendar. I like to come every year now. It's 3 years running. I can't imagine me missing it now.
Right. And you said you have a worship band?
Yeah.
So maybe you can say something about it a little bit.
Yeah, we're from Riverside in Exeter, and the church I go to are very supportive of Guitar Aid. So we've brought our worship band here for 3 years now, and we've just done the worship from 8:30 till 9 in the far tent. It's just really lovely to be part of what's happening here. Also for our worship team, we've got young people who've been on mission for the first time coming on this trip, and it's such a privilege to be able to be here and to be part of that, and I know Riverside Worship team really appreciate that. So
Okay, I think that we are finished. Peter Dikosh for Television Z. Thank you very much.